In a future not so far away, in the obscure and enigmatic land of Portland, Oregon.
Mars, what the heck? Did you crawl over here?
I kinda got lost on the way here, Deb.
In a place you work every day?
Awesome thought. Honestly, didn't think you'd need my help. Thought you'd handle it before I got here.
Procedure for powered engagements. Tiana was very clear about that after the cherry tree incident.
That poor song sparrow.
You ready?
I'm gonna find out. See, if Boris and I tried coming in here without you, we would have been cheddar cheese.
I think you mean Swiss.
You can shred all forms of cheese, Deb.
I think we should look into plastic utensils from now on.
Are you kidding? Those are terrible for the ozone.
Yeah, it's not the best, but if I have to choose between...
Does Deborah often argue with you?
Argue? No, Ada. We just banter a lot. We're family. Or like family. And in situations like that, having a sister with powers is very handy.
You mentioned power before. Based on your last statement, I'm deducing that it is not connected to the facility's electrical systems?
That's right, Ada. The world is filled with superpowered people, which you would know if you were an older model.
How is my age relevant?
Not your age, your device generation. See, you're a 5th generation CB Android model. The first to require downloading modules online to complete your setup process. Before you, CBs came with tons of preloaded modules.
I understand. I do not have that information because it isn't stored on my local drives. This seems rather disadvantageous.
Yeah, manufacturer is able to shave off production time this way, and it opens up more space for customization. For the bottom line and most consumers, it's great, but for our specific situation, it's not a plus.
Will I be downloading modules then?
Actually, your Wi-Fi router is damaged. So for now, you'll just have to go without. You're missing world history, you have the English language, Tagalog, and Mandarin? But no colloquial language. You also have culinary skills and the entire discography of A Tribe Called Quest.
I understand.
No worries though. Your AI processor is super advanced, so you could still learn super fast. Just keep asking questions.
Thank you, Creator. This additional context greatly helps.
You can call me Mars if you like.
I do not like. Creator, when you said there was a hurricane in the cafeteria,
You thought I was speaking metaphorically.
I also considered the cafeteria may be open air.
Gotcha. No, it was a literal hurricane inside of a closed building. Although, much smaller than your traditional hurricane. Or would it be a tornado? Anyway, the point is, it was not that bad. We could actually walk through it without too much hassle. But then...
If I have to choose between the possibility of our colleagues being skewered like Brazilian barbecue or having to plant some trees to offset some carbon emissions, I think I'm...
An aluminum lunch tray hit Deb right in the face.
Was she hurt?
Not at all. Deb's power is legit. Can't feel pain and unbreakable skin. So, she was fine. On the outside.
Did she have intense internal organ damage?
Brutal follow-up. No, the sound the tray made when it hit her, it was like an old cartoon or something. It hurt the pride. Which is sometimes more painful than intense organ damage.
Theodore, you have 5 seconds to end this before I end you!
I'm sorry, Miss Ramos.
Theo Thunder's peaking. Big guy with a big heart. And sometimes, big temper. Wouldn't it be a huge problem if he couldn't also create thunderstorms at will?
Explain yourself, Theodore.
I kinda lost my temper.
Oh, is that what happened?
I can't believe it myself.
Would have guessed ecstatic, would have guessed sad.
Melancholy. Excited.
Pensive even.
But I never would have thought that our very own Theodore Thunders Pecking might lose his temper.
One could say it blows me away.
I'm shocked.
It's better than mine.
I'm sorry. It's just Conrad.
Don't want to hear any excuses. You're going to have to report to Miss Leeds in the front office. Go straight there, no detours.
Can I report to Boris instead?
Yesterday, Theo.
Yes, ma'am.
Nacho cheese, by the way.
What?
Can't shred nacho cheese. It's already goop.
I think you're right. Plus, super independent.
Huh?
It's not show cheese.
Ah!
You'll grow to appreciate that. Well, it doesn't look too bad in here.
Where are you going?
Get some hot water for my morning tea.
Can't interrupt that man's day. Wait a sec. Conrad!
Ma'am?
Conrad Drum, aka Conundrum, or previously known as one of the people here without powers. But that doesn't make him any less difficult to deal with sometimes. Him and Theo are like oil and water. Well, him and most people are like oil and water.
Where do you think you're going?
Well, it seemed to me that now since the danger has passed, I could indulge in some television before a backgammon game I have scheduled with some of my constituents. I don't want to show up to the match without knowing what's happened on the latest episode of...
Cut it, Conrad. What did you say to Theo?
I don't think it's terribly fair to ask what I said to him and not give an ounce of regard to what he said to me.
What did he say to you, Conrad?
He called me a talentless, unintellectual hack. Unprovoked.
Unintellectual. He used those words.
Not gracefully.
What response did you give that prompted this mess?
I simply asked him about the custody of his daughter.
Jeez, Conrad.
Fair question, I thought.
Between you and the flying cutlery, this day is starting to stress me out.
I hear bananas are good for that.
Just make yourself scarce until I call you to the front office.
As you wish, Miss Ramos.
And I will be following up with Theo on that unprovoked claim.
All right, bad news. We got some serious damage to the water heater system. Worst news, we are out of jasmine tea.
How bad?
Water heater, I'll need parts.
Today is really getting my blood pressure up.
I hear bananas are good for that. Heard you yelling, by the way?
Conrad trying to sneak out. He claimed Theo started this whole debacle. I'm not sure which percentage of that story is true.
Well, he does have a way of avoiding the 2% of facts that incriminate him.
Sometimes I worry if Conrad is really here to turn a new leaf, or just changing the character names on the pages. And if you're thinking about taking that 2% facts to 2% milk and circling it back around to cheese, I am way ahead of you.
That makes me bleu.
Tiana will want a report about the incident and damage, so you'll have to turn down your incredible personality at least 2 notches.
Humbug. She could match my energy one time.
You would never stop if she did.
You're right. I am incorrigible. Okay, I'm turning down 2 whole notches. I'll even throw in an extra notch, just because you asked.
Thanks, Martian.
You know, of all the Debras that work here, you might be my favorite.
How many Debras work in the facility?
Just her.
You were being literal.
No, I was being facetious.
Is that advantageous?
You know what? Most of the time, I don't think that it is.
Am I to understand that your principal, Tiana, does not like her facetious nature.
Principal? And yeah, she hates it, but we have an understanding. Ada, do you think that this is a school?
You have now provided me context, creator. Something I'm beginning to observe as habitual.
I don't remember installing a sassy module. Ada, do me a favor. Look out that window right there. Tell me what you see.
I see a large mansion on cleared but well-kept land. Forest around the perimeter. A long driveway leading from the mansion to a 2-lane road. Several small cottages nearby on the cleared land. I would estimate the plot sits on roughly 10 acres of land, and we are in a cottage similar to the others closest to the road.
Bingo bongo, Donkey Kongo. Yep, we are indeed in one of the cottages of the Hughes Rehabilitation Center. That big mansion, that's the main center right there. Tiana is the program director. She's in charge of the whole shebang. These cottages are staff cottages. I'm a counselor over there, and so is Deb. You know, she actually decorated all the cottages, including this one.
Is she good at decorating?
Sassy module must come stock. Tiana thinks it's good for us to explore our various interests. Keeps the stress of the staff down. Which is good, especially at a rehab like this.
I see. What is it a rehabilitation for?
Villains. It's a rehab for villains.
Vinyl and Brush Productions presents The Worst Parts, an audio drama created by Dante Rose, starring Juliana Burton as Deborah Ramos, Yazon Angela Lynn as Ada, Tristan Cunningham as Tiana Leagues, Enum Clayton as Theo Thunders Peking, Jonathan Healy as Boris, Tracy Wong as Lana Zhang, Mikey Joaquin playing the roles of both Conrad Drum and Azul, and Dante Rose as Mars. This is episode 1, The Drop. I wonder if Mars is going to take things seriously before things get serious for him.
Hey, Boris. Did Theo report to Tiana?
Yep.
Boris, our resident jack of all trades. Handyman, groundskeeper, receptionist, super dependable guy. The funniest person here. But I'm not sure if that's on purpose.
She'd love a banana right now.
Oh my God.
Hey, Boris, what is the most independent cheese?
Nacho cheese.
Aw,
I'm a sharp one.
No way.
how do you have that on deck?
I maintain a grateful outlook on life.
Dang!
You have bars today, Boris.
Yes? Just down the hall. Roger that. Buzzing you in now.
Yes,
Miss Jung from the Times is here.
got it. Thank you, Boris.
The Times? Like the news?
Yep. Miss Leagues set up a meeting this morning.
She usually can't stand the press. Do you know what this is about?
Don't know, but it seemed important.
Top-notch deduction skills there, Boris.
Should have been a PI.
Morning, Deborah. Mars.
Tiana Leagues, the director here at Hughes. She has the power to make complex calculations in the fraction of a second. I keep trying to give her a cool super name, but she just says, nicknames are for bohemian jazz musicians and toddlers with unflattering facial features.
Thank you both for dealing with this challenging young gentleman.
Morning, Director.
Top of the morning.
Do we have a preliminary situation report?
Conrad was apparently one of the instigators in the incident that happened.
That little
Did I ask you? I will deal with Conrad. Anything else, Deborah? Mars?
Actually, yes.
Water heater is done so.
Theodore, how much extra chore duty did I say you were getting this week?
A month's worth.
Double it.
Mars said we'll need parts for him to repair it.
I did say those exact words in that exact order.
First things first. I want one of you to walk Theo straight to his quarters. He'll be taking all his meals in his room for the rest of the day.
That's not even...
Since you insist on behaving like an unrestrained juvenile, then you can be grounded like one. The harm that your actions could have caused both your fellow patients and the staff is indefensible and has led to the forfeiture of any entitlement you once had. You will now engage in compliant manner, or you will opt for an alternative which involves your departure from Hughes. Am I being clear, Theodore?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
I'll take him back to his room.
I can do it. I'm his case manager.
Actually, it would be better if Mars escorted him. I would like it if you were present in this meeting with Ms. Young.
I was heading in that direction anyway.
Thank you, Mars. Send Conrad down when you're done.
Gotcha, boss lady.
Also, subsequent this meeting with Ms. Young, it is imperative that we have a staff meeting. Tonight after dinner. I know it's abrupt, but I need us all on the same page. Quite frankly, the water heater couldn't have picked a more inopportune time to malfunction.
Gotcha.
Roger that.
Affirmative.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lana Jong with The Times.
Hello,
Good morning,
Lana.
Lana.
Howdy, Lana.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you all for welcoming me into your facility. Look, I know much of the local media hasn't been kind in their coverage,
Oh, that's putting it lightly.
but Miss Leagues and I go back quite a ways. And I want to do all I can to help your cause here.
We are all very appreciative, Lana. Please, come into my office. Deborah, can you join us, please? Thank you again, Mars.
Catch up later, Martian.
For sure. Okay, Theo, let's go. Boris, you are always so collected. What's your secret?
Bree yourself.
Is there a reason you're insistent on chaperoning Theodore?
I've seen a lot of people come and go. Some people complete the program, some get discharged early, some straight up leave. And even though they run the gamut as far as personalities are concerned, you start to see patterns.
Patterns in behavior?
Kinda. More like aptitude, if that's much different. Some people seem determined to change. Some people seem desperate to.
And desperation makes a difference in success?
I thought so in the beginning, but now I think something else does.
What do you think makes a difference now?
Support.
Can we stop for a second?
Your power exhaustion catching up?
Yeah, I'm feeling nauseous.
Let's take 5. These always are long. Earlier, I asked Boris which cheese is the most independent, thinking he wouldn't get my angle. He says immediately, nacho cheese. Totally gets it. And then when I compliment him, he says, I'm a sharp one. I might not have complimented him. I might have just been thinking it. But he says I'm a sharp one, like sharp cheddar. Then he backdoors that with a grateful line. I don't really remember how it went. But now, as we're leaving, he says, Bree yourself. Bree yourself? Bree yourself? Can you believe that? That man is on a higher frequency than the rest of us. My bad. I'm just trying to increase the brightness on this underexposed photo.
I'm just not in a funny, goofy mood right now.
I get it. I don't like when Tiana yells at me either.
I messed up.
Yeah, you did, but everyone makes mistakes, Theo.
Yeah, well, some people are mistakes, Mars.
You really believe that?
It doesn't matter. I'm wrong most of the time.
You know, Theo, you remind me of another rehabilitated villain. He did a lot of bad things to people, way more than you. And he hated himself. He figured he was unforgivable. And in the eyes of society, he probably was. But when he was at his lowest and had lost all the will to live, he found some hope and some inspiration to keep going. Now he works every day trying to just add a little bit of good to the world. Will that absolve him? Honestly, I don't know. But he's moving forward. He's not who he was, and what he did doesn't have to be what defines him now. He's moving forward, and that's what this place is all about. That's what Hughes is all about, moving forward. And you can't move forward if you're looking back. Come on, let's get you to your room.
Yeah. Let's go.
Whew. We walked in silence the rest of the way. I told him he could complete the program, and I believed in him. It seemed like it bounced off, but I'm optimistic that it planted or watered.
Planted or watered?
A seed. It's a metaphor. Sometimes what you say doesn't affect people immediately, but over time, it can get into their spirit or subconscious.
And over time become a value they've developed.
Wow, great deduction, yes, exactly. So after that, I went to find Conrad. I think that was the last normal day we had here at Hughes.
The last normal day? What changed?
Well, Miss Young, the Times reporter from earlier, she came at Tiana's request to organize a televised interview.
How does a televised interview affect normal operations?
It doesn't, or it shouldn't. The problem was since it was live, I was captured on camera and we couldn't edit me out.
And that is a problem?
I didn't think it would be, but apparently someone recognized me.
Crater, why would it be bad for you to be recognized?
Because, Ada, before I came to Hughes, I was a supervillain. One of the worst. I've gone years without being recognized. Until now, anyway.
Can you clarify what
Good evening.
The Worst Parts, a vinyl and brush production. Episode 1, The Drop. Starring Juliana Burton as Deborah Ramos, Yazan Angela Lynn as Ada, Tristan Cunningham as Tiana Leagues, Enum Clayton as Theo Thunders Peking, Jonathan Healy as Boris, Tracy Wong as Lana Zhang, Mikey Joaquin playing the roles of Conrad Drum and Azul, and Dante Rose as Mars. Playing the part of narrator is I, Joshua Bonifacio. This episode was written by Dante Rose and Victoria Villamil. Recorded at LA Voiceover and Real Voice LA. Music by Mira Stream. Be sure to follow us on social media for updates and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Boris is just down bad right now. Miss Lana, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.